There we go. It's live.
All
Welcome to
right.
it, folks. This is the pre-stream time. And because, well, let's start this off right. Let's hit a little music.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread. We're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
There we go, folks. It is time we start having a little bit of pre-stream here, just for the fun and entertainment of it all. And welcome to our new magician, Merlin. Welcome to the show.
I did not think about that.
All right.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, I looked, I was like, wait, Merlin. Oh, wait, we got a new magician. And yes, there are points that are collected for chatting, and our two #1 fans are running neck and neck with 50 points each.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, well, we got all kind of random things. Amber's back from her honeymoon with a new name and a new style, and you don't get to see her face because I stole her webcam from when we pre-streamed or when we streamed out the wedding. So
Yep. Yeah, that was entertaining. Absolutely nothing went right.
actually, everything seemed to go right. It was one cluster after another, and they just seemed to roll together just fine. I think in the end, it all went right. It just
Well, okay. So nothing went right, but it all went wrong in such a way as it was just extreme entertainment the whole time. Like this ceremony, we had to remind the person in charge of it that she had to complete certain things.
yeah.
And then I don't know what the groomsmen and the bridesmaids are doing, but they like swap sides randomly, then walk back, and we're like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, well,
Just a whole bunch of little things that they weren't bad. They were really entertaining.
hmm and it rained.
And oh, okay. So when we were going to the reception, we live like 2 blocks away from the place where we're having the reception. It wasn't raining when we started walking there because my now husband and I, we didn't want to drive. We wanted to have booze at our reception. So we walked. No rain when we started. About 20 steps away, it started raining. A light rain, no problem. By the time we got there, we were so drenched, they had to mop the floor when
Well,
we
that's good.
walked in.
Somebody came along and unzipped the clouds and said, "Here, let's
Yeah.
empty these 20 billion buckets on top of you."
I've never had to have somebody mop where I come into a building before. Although, I gotta say, my cloak kept my dress totally dry. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and then when you left, it rained again.
Yes, and it was, like, not raining much while we were doing the reception. It was just, like, off and on, light drizzle, and then we went to leave, and it poured, and then it, like, stopped for a little while. We're like, "Oh, hey, it stopped raining. Let's go do the fireworks." We get out there.
Oh yeah, the
We
fireworks is
start the
entertaining for you.
fireworks, and as soon as we set off one box of fireworks, it started raining. By the time we got to the third box of fireworks, the box couldn't catch. So we're like, "Okay, we give up."
Yeah, it was a drenching downpour, but it was a good wedding.
It was entertaining for sure. Unfortunately, it started a little early, so a couple people who we invited didn't make it to the actual ceremony. They just caught the tail end of it, but we recorded it, so
It can go
no,
be
it was
seen
nice to see family
online.
and friends.
It's all online
Yep.
for perpetuity to follow and see. Yes.
Yeah,
So
it was good to see people who I hadn't seen. Like I have a friend who we met when we lived in New Zealand as kids, and he and his wife were able to make it, and it was fantastic.
yeah, it was all in all, it was a good time. Good time for everybody. Ground zero for the plague. You know,
Yeah, sure. Blame the wedding.
why not? 5 days later, I'm sick. A couple days later, more people around are sick. It's like, yeah, okay. Only
Well, for our
come, only
honeymoon,
come
we
in
tried
for your honeymoon. You tried?
to go camping.
Yes.
And we went to like mid island, and the first day it was just wet, and then the second day we did a whole bunch of prep because we had a wood burning stove for inside the canvas tent. We set everything up. It was great. By that night we were dealing with like lots of wind and rain. No problem. By the next day it was like 80 and 90 winds. The trees across the lake were bending over, and then we heard a landslide like probably about 10 clicks away. We're like, you know what, we're done. Wasn't the wind and the rain, it was the landslide that freaked us out and made us nope right out of there.
Yeah, well, gotta surrender at some point to Mother Nature.
Yeah, it was an entertaining time for sure. I think I think it's a perfect representation of our lives though, because it was so chaotic the whole time, just entertaining chaos. And then for the last 3 days, it was total peace and quiet, and we slept.
Hmm. Yeah, so at least you got to the peace and quiet part.
We did. We got to the peace and quiet part, and then we just slept.
That's to charge your batteries for the next time.
Yep. So yeah, my name is now Amber Lynn, or as my nickname, because Mer is a shortened version of Amber, so Mer Lynn.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She dressed up as Merlin.
Ah,
My
well,
daughter says I should dress up as Merlin for Halloween.
there you go.
Beard included, apparently. That'd be
Beer
fun.
included? Yeah, that would be entertaining.
Yeah, man.
Be
I
all
could put
kinds
glitter
of-
and pink bows in it. It'd be great.
Yeah. Well, I think I was a little off on my scheduling of things here. So, welcome to the show, everybody. We greatly appreciate it. We do have a show for you today. We don't have much else. We usually have chicken talk or dog talk or something else, but not a whole lot lately.
Well, I do have some chicken talk.
Oh, do you? What do we got for chickens?
Yeah. It took them 2 weeks, but they figured out finally that the rather low wall we have semi-penning them in, they can jump over it.
Hmm.
Took them a couple weeks to figure this out. Also, their feathers are almost fully grown back in. Their feathers are so floofy. I have never seen any of these chickens look as floofy as they look this year.
Well,
The Farmer's Almanac says that it's supposed to be like a mild and wet winter. I'm not entirely sure they're right, because like our cat has the thickest fur coat I've ever seen him pop out. Our chickens are so floofy, like their feathers. I've never seen them this floofy, and they stopped laying. So I think I'm going to go with the animals on this. I think it's going to be cold.
Yeah, well, my dog's grown an extra coat of fur, so hey. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Let me go deal with that.
Wait, you forgot something? The wise and amazing individual you are, you forgot something?
Constantly.
Someone's got mail, yes.
Yes, that's exactly
You'll
it.
hear his mail every time.
No, I just turned off the notifications, but those ones there had already come through. So this is to prevent them from coming through during the show because my system checks every 15 minutes and I got mail every 15 minutes. So I see way too much mail.
Oh, here's another entertaining thing. When we left, the house was a bit chaotic. The kids actually did clean it when we came back. But when we came back, we have moths in the house. They have exploded.
Moths?
We figured out where they're coming from. Yes, moths. There was a bag of almonds left open and they were eating it.
Oh.
So we have a lot of moths now. We're fixing it, but it's like we leave, we come back, house is still in one piece, nothing got burned down, nothing got destroyed, but there's a lot of moths.
All right. Well, on that note here's the music that leads up to actual showtime.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
It must be time.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress Plugins A to Z, not Z.
It's episode 660, and we have plugins for posting calendars while monitoring users live, with some WordPress news all coming up on WordPress Plugins from A to Z. WordPress, the king of content management systems, powering the web with over 80,000 plugins to choose from. How do you sort the junk from the gems? Welcome to WPPluginsAtoZ, where we've been keeping the pulse of WordPress alive for over 16 incredible years. Join us every week for an unrehearsed, Real talk breakdowns of the latest and greatest plugins, developer and community member interviews. Some weeks, Amber and I team up to dig in. Others, I'm flying solo, unpacking WordPress news, demoing a standout plugin, or sharing tips to power up your site. No scripts, no fluff, just the good stuff from A to Z. So plug in and let's get rolling. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery overlooking beautiful southern Vancouver Island. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amberlyn.
the brand new Merlin, our new magician for the show. And this show being powered by a new blend of coffee that I mixed up with Kicking Horse. I'm calling it Hanging Ass. It's Jolly Ass, Smart Ass, and Cliffhanger all blended together. So it makes for a very tasty coffee. Other than that, we've got the usual great stuff for you today, and I don't have a heck of a lot. You want all the really good stuff? Go back to the pre-stream on YouTube and listen to it there. With that,
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
Welcome to episode 660, Plugin Fever, catch the WordPress Buzz with WP Plugins A-Z. So we've got a couple of great in-depth plugins to cover for you with Post Calendar by Gelform, bringing in fun and easier way to transform your chaotic post list into a beautifully organized calendar view. We also have FullWorks Active User Monitor, which brings us a way to tell if others are currently online before we do anything like update WordPress from like say 6.9 to 7. We don't want to do that if there's someone online and doing something, because that would suck. And of course, we've also got some recent news in both the WordPress world and the tech world in general for you. And we probably have some good WordPress tips. I know I threw something in there. I don't know if it's any good, but it's there.
yeah, we'll see what they come out.
And a couple of reminders before we continue on. You can join us here in person every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific time to enjoy our show. Show notes are added to WPPluginsAtoZ.com within 24 hours of the show airing. You can find them on the homepage or in the podcast vaults. And this is a value for value show. So help us get some loving by hitting the like button. You can do that right now while you're listening. Just hit the like button, share an episode or two, or turn it up really loud so that everyone around you can hear how awesome we are. That'll be awesome too. And don't forget to stick around until the end. We do have some Q&A.
We do.
So our artist today is apparently Grok.
Yep,
again.
It's Grok. He's actually
becoming imaginative again.
He is becoming imaginative again. And look at the art. It turned, he created out something that is mystical and magical to go with the new magician.
Yeah. So something I've noticed since I came back is he seems to have had some sort of upgrade. Because when I've been teaching myself another language, just Gaeilge, Irish, and when I'm teaching myself something, I try to use it randomly. So I've been spelling it. So I say Diodwitch whenever I talk to him as practice. And before I would say Diodwitch and he wouldn't really respond in Irish, but now like I have to tell him I am not fluent. I speak English. Please rewrite all that in English for me, because he'll give me a response entirely in Gaeilge. It's very interesting. And once I said hola, he did the same thing. That is a weird glitch that I've never seen him do before.
Well, you never know. He has had some updates lately.
So yeah, there's that.
All right, well, let's move it along.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! And now the news with Amber.
So first up, we have WordPress Vulnerability Report. And this was put out on November 5th. It, excuse me.
Remember, the 5th of November.
Yes. The gunpowder treason and plot. So in this report, there are 108 vulnerabilities. 98 are plugins and 10 are themes. Currently, there are 68 that have been patched with 30 left to go. And for themes, there is 9 that have been patched and only 1 left to go. So that's actually pretty good. I like seeing the number going down because I remember a few of these ago, we were up at like almost 400 for vulnerabilities, and I've noticed the vulnerabilities are going down. It's great to see. The next one we have is the WordPress vulnerability report from PatchStack. So these guys are reporting live as things are being found and reported. So you can keep more on top by going and checking these guys out. Next, I have Microsoft admits that Windows 10 is wrongly telling users they're out of support, and here's the fix. So this isn't necessarily for WordPress, but it is a very important thing and something that I wanted to bring forward, because even if you have opted into the extended support program, they are still telling you you're out of support. So check this out, have a look, and see if you can get rid of your warning thing. Next, we have real-time collaboration flagged for WordPress 7.0 amid ongoing technical challenges. So WordPress is moving closer to the Google Docs style collaborative editing, and I don't think this is really a bad thing. In an update on Phase 3 of Gutenberg Roadmap, posted this last week, Automatic-sponsored contributor Anne McCarthy revealed real-time collaboration has been flagged for possible inclusion in WordPress 7.0. expected in 2026. WordPress is currently underway to extend and improve the experimental implementation of the feature already available in the Gutenberg plugin. So this article goes through what the challenges currently are, linking you to various sources and talking about the benefits, discussions, really everything there is to find around this. And I like that they have so many links to so many different places, because you can really get a real understanding of what's going into this, what's going on, what people are thinking. It's very useful if you are interested in what's coming our way. When is the next update? Is it January?
No, we got 6.9 coming down the pike here next month.
Okay. No, I mean, like, when do we go to 7.0? I know it's in 2026.
I don't think they've announced a date for 7.0 yet.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is definitely worth taking the time to go through, check out those links. It's awesome.
It does look like it'll be interesting to have real-time collaboration. That would be similar to something we have with like Evernote that we use.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like a mixture of Evernote and Grok, because there's been a few times where we're like doing research and we keep using Grok and like sharing things with each other. It's really useful.
Yeah, there's lots of really good uses for that. So it would be a good feature to have, but I could see some problematic issues with it on it. So we'll see how it rolls out.
So next thing I have here, WP Managed Ninja launches Fluent Cart, aiming to bring speed and simplicity to e-commerce for WordPress. So this happened while I was away.
Oh,
WP Managed Ninja.
You skipped one. That's okay. Missing me
Oh,
up.
did I?
Yeah, you skipped the team rolls out automatic security scans for all plugin updates.
Oh, well, let's take a break and go back to that,
Okay.
because this is actually very important.
Yeah.
What they are doing is they are using an automatic scan for all the plugin things, and I can see how this is very useful, but I can also see how it will go terribly, terribly wrong, because auto scans are at this point notorious for missing small things, and those small things tend to lead to massive issues like data breaches or complete collapse. So using this automatic scan for security, compatibility, and compliance issues, I can see that working for anything major. But I really hope that they continue to monitor it themselves and continue to keep going over it themselves. But I'm worried that they're going to be like, oh yeah, I haven't found any issues for a while, so I'm just going to stop monitoring it. And we're just going to let the autopilot take over.
Yeah. Well, I think this is to help deal with some of the things that have happened in the past with WordPress plugin updates. Whereas once they're approved, they don't have to get reapproval every time they get updates, or every time the developer pushes an update. And so what's happened in the past doesn't seem to, I think there's been some checks since then of some sort, but people have pushed malware code up into it, or pushed way too much advertising, or pushed other crap into the update. That then, because you've got it on your site, you assume it's safe, and it's got an update, you go, okay, do the update. And it turns out the update is not safe. So what this looks like is they're going to have a scanning for every plugin that's pushed into the repository as an update, as an auto scan, to see if anything significant has changed, is how I assume it goes. I'm not dug into it, but I'm just looking at the based on it. So that's it is a good thing that it'll do the auto
Okay.
scan because it'll help prevent those kind of issues. Won't
See, I was
stop it
misunderstanding
because
what I was reading.
yeah, nothing stops it, but
No, unfortunately.
you know, but yeah.
But
So
having something flagged means that it can be dealt with.
all right.
Okay, I was misunderstanding what I was reading then. So yeah, it's actually a better idea than I thought.
Yep. No, it's a great idea. Mainly because of all the things I've seen happen in the repo over the years.
Hmm. Okay, now we'll go back to what happened while I was away.
Yeah, the Ninja Fluent Cart. I actually got myself a lifetime license on that.
It's a self-hosted plugin, and
Yes, I know.
it promises to make selling products and subscriptions with WordPress faster and simpler. So it seems like what they've done is they've taken it and they've just ripped out all of the fancy stuff.
It's more than that. It
Okay.
is a challenge. It is a challenger for WooCommerce. It's a major challenger for WooCommerce. It's a full-blown e-commerce plugin. And what they've done, instead of doing what WooCommerce does and charge you an arm and a leg and a left for every add-on you need, such as subscriptions or other pieces, they've included it in the plugin. They've also included in this plugin the ability to sell licenses. In other words, if you sell digital downloads, you can start selling your licenses through this plugin. Part of the reason why I bought myself a lifetime license. I've started setting up a store with one to learn it all. It's a new learning curve for me. I'm going to have to learn this one, and eventually, if it works the way I'm hoping it to work, I will probably start working at converting over my current WooCommerce clients to Fluent Cart.
Yeah, WooCommerce has gotten a little weird.
Well, it's not just gotten weird. What they've done is they've gotten, in, from my perspective, overly greedy with their control of the market.
True.
Instead of keeping it within the realms of affordability, they've taken it up notches. That makes it difficult. And plus, it's over bloated now. WooCommerce is over bloated, and it's a nightmare to set up now. I have to.
That's what I mean by weird. Every time you set up something new, it like creates so many things that you don't want.
Yeah, it automatically puts all this stuff in there, and then it tries to cram down my throat all of their payment processors, even though I don't want their payment processors. I want the ones I'm using. They still try to cram theirs down my throat. And they make it so I have to go do extra clicks and other things to remove them. It's a pain in the neck. And I've also seen them reappear for some reason after an update to the plugin. So at any rate, Fluent Cart this first year is going to be a little slow for them. But as more and more happens to them, and they've already started improving the plugin, they've already released an update or two since their launch. And as they improve it, I really believe they're going to be a major challenger for the e-commerce crown of WordPress plugins.
Well, yeah, when you make things more simple and you don't force people to do what you want them to do, you give them their freedom, they're more likely to go for it.
Yep.
So the next thing I have is WP Minute launches courses starting with WordPress hosting. I was really surprised when I saw this. I guess I shouldn't have been because, I mean, they cover a lot of topics.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that they're launching courses. It seems like a lot of companies, while I was away, decide, you know what, we're going to add in a whole bunch of things that we've never done before, just now while you're gone.
Yeah. Well,
Lots of things actually happened during my 2-week hiatus there. Yeah, it's really cool. I am interested in looking more into their courses because it seems like they have some pretty easy to understand courses there.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring this up and be like, hey, things are looking strange to me, and I was only gone for 2 weeks. It's very impressive how fast things are suddenly moving.
Well, they do. They'll do that suddenly. It's like a whole lot of moves will happen over a short period, and then it'll go quiet for a few months.
And the last thing I have here was actually sent to me. Researchers embodied an LLM into a robot vacuum, and it suffered an existential crisis thinking about its role in the world. It actually did. It's the butterstick test. I don't know. So the butterstick test actually came from an episode of Rick and Morty. And what happened was Rick created a robot to pass the butter, and the robot had an existential crisis because it had nothing else to do except pass the butter. That was it. Well, it's become an actual test, and this thing had a serious meltdown. It is quite the read, and I had to like do some double, triple checking to make sure this is real and not just a piece of fantasy. Because it's quite the read. Definitely worth taking a few moments to read it.
Okay, that's very entertaining.
And then, of course, we have a whole bunch of extras here. I tried to make sure I got as much WordPress stuff in here that I haven't been able to share for a bit. And we also have some stuff from Microsoft and just all kinds of stuff. Make sure you check out the extras here in our show notes.
We always have a whole bunch of extra notes and news articles for everyone to check out. All right, Rogue's Corner tip of the day. What little tips I have, I really forgot to collect them. I've been busy doing multiple other things the last couple of weeks. And I do have one thing I wanted to bring back to the show here. This is feedland.org, wp.feedland.org. If you need WordPress news, the latest news, they have collected all of the RSS feeds for multiple places. WordPress News, WP Minute, WP Mayor, WordPress Developer. These are coming out as fast as these places publish them because it is a live RSS feed that is constantly pulling in all the RSS feeds. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, but hey, I'll let somebody else do it for me. And when you need WordPress news, just go check this one out. It's a really great one here. Another little tip of the day, don't forget about us, WP Pro A-Z, a WordPress agency, where we offer up multiple stuff for you. WordPress consultation, web design, hosting, site maintenance, SEO services, and more. So that's our little plug for us. And don't forget to come back to the show where I do interviews on a regular basis. And if I don't have someone to interview, I've got a single show by myself where I try to entertain people for half an hour, 45 minutes, which sometimes is entertainment unto itself. I don't have anyone scheduled currently, but I do have some open dates for anyone. And I'm looking for all of the smaller people in WordPress that want to the WordPress community or anything that relates to the WordPress community. If you've got something to say, you want to be interviewed, go on over there and just click on book an interview. Open dates currently, November 17th, December 1st, 15th, and 29th, and January 12th and 26th. So basically the next 2.5 months is wide open. Go check it out, folks. That's what we've got there. With that being said, that's all I've got. So let's go wander into what we're really here for, the meat and potatoes of the show. All right. What I've got right now, this is the post calendar by Gelform. This is a really great plugin. I talked a little bit about it in my show last week where I interviewed Corey Moss, the creator of this plugin, and it's a really good interview. Go listen to it if you haven't already. But this plugin is a really nice, simple, straightforward post calendar. One of the most easiest ones I've been able to use, whereas it lists up all your posts, gives you a calendar. You can go in and see the post by calendar on there. You can click on any post on there, change the date on it. It shows you any drafts you have pending. It even gives you a list of all your current drafts, even the ones that you might have forgotten about, 6 months ago, where they're so far down the list you can't see them anymore. But it lists them all up nice and go, oh, I forgot about this, and you can bring it forward, finish it, and get it published. So lots of really good, useful, straightforward tools. And it also manages your content for your different custom post types. If you've got custom post types, pages, and some media. So there's that useful feature in it also. So go check out this post calendar from Corey Moss at gelform.com and check out the interview I did with him. Fantastic plugin, and I give it a 5 dragon rating.
That is really cool. I was looking at that before, and having your list turn into a calendar for a brain like mine, that's so fantastic.
Yeah, well, I've installed it onto the WP Pro A-Z site so I can start managing, because the problem is I start drafts and then I forget about them.
Yeah, because they keep going further and further down the list.
Yeah, they get further down the list and you don't see them unless you page, and this brings them all up when you only have a few, unless you end up at johnoverall.com where I've got like 35 drafts there from years gone by.
Only 35? That's impressive. I figured
Well-
it'd be closer to 80.
Well, you know, I remember at johnoverall.com, I did publish like 1,400 articles there.
Yes, you did. So today I
right.
have a WordPress tip. My tip to you today is make sure that when you're using any information from news sources, you have checked, double and triple checked your information. Cross-reference, make sure that you are getting the same information or news from multiple sources before presenting it as a fact. And if you get different information but the same basic story, then take whatever amalgamation you can create, because that's probably the truth. Because the reason I'm bringing this up is because the AI is getting inventive. And people are getting really good with prompts to help the AI along with their inventive hallucinations. And what's happening?
We're in a world where people are doing acid and feeding it to the AI.
Yeah, exactly. So what's happening is this current is being created in the center of the data stream of information, and people go and they try to find a bit of information. They end up finding this riptide that takes them out to this ocean. They have no idea what's real and what's not real. Like talking to my daughters, they just don't believe anything because they can't always tell what's real and what's not real. So even if it's actually true fact, they don't believe it because it's easier to not believe anything than to accept anything as truth when they can't tell the difference. And that is becoming a real issue. If you we can't go through life not believing anything for information, for news and whatnot, but we also can't go through life believing everything. There's got to be a medium here somewhere. And if you are able to double and triple check your information from a variety of sources, you're going to be able to figure out whether or not it's true. But before you offer anything as true, make sure you double and triple check your sources so that you don't end up accidentally saying that I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but just, one of those random AI hallucinations that pops up in the shorts. You don't end up saying that's true.
Yep, pretty much. All right.
So that is...
Oh, I thought you were done.
I absolutely was. I just started talking again because my brain is like that.
Oh, okay.
So what I have today for my plugin is FullWorks Active User Monitor. I really like this. This was sent in to us by Ellen at FullWorks, and this is a really fantastic plugin. I think it's just brilliant. It's one of those plugins that I didn't know I needed until I saw it. It's a freebie too. So it's a freebie, and it actually plays really well with others. And interestingly enough, Alan actually shares with me the origin of this plugin. It turns out that this started as a conversation over X with a long-term contact of his. And they were talking about how they wish they had a way to check to see if others are logged in before doing a major update in WordPress. Discussion ensued, vibe coding with ChatGPT was done, and over the past 2 years, this has become tweaked into a super useful plugin and is available, and it works really well. So once I downloaded and activated this plugin, I was able to find Active Users Monitor in the left-hand menu under Settings. On this page, you are able to personalize a lot. You can keep the notice in the admin bar up top to show you how many users are online or not, which I really like, because that way, no matter where you are in the site, all you have to do is look up at the top and you can see if anybody's logged in, if they finally logged out, so you can get back to updating, what have you. It's very useful.
Oh, dear God, this is going to be very useful.
It's amazing. And you also get to decide how often it refreshes. The automatic setting is every 30 seconds. You can enable the dashboard widget or not too, which I love because so many plugins, they're just like, oh, I'm just going to give you a dashboard widget, or no, I'm not going to give you that at all. You can't see anything at a glance. You are able to configure your display settings, which means you get to decide who gets to see who is online, whether the person is an admin, editor, author, etc. You can decide whether or not they also get to see who else is online. And you you can track and log all user login and logout activities, and then you can decide on how long you get to keep the audit for as well. The audit log. You can also choose whether or not you are going to track failed logins, and if you want to anonymize IP addresses after a specified period for privacy compliance. So once you get through all of your options, you hit Save Changes, and you're ready to roll. It plays well with others and is very lightweight. So it didn't slow down my very, very abused test site at all. It actually works amazing. Very light, very easy, very play with others well. My favorite aspect of it, I have to say, is having the information up in the admin bar. I love it when stuff like this is up in the admin bar. You just got to glance up and you can go back to doing whatever you were doing.
This will be going on to about 4 sites I know of that I need to have it on.
Exactly.
where my clients are often there when I'm trying to do something.
Yeah, it's a plugin that you didn't know you needed it until you see it.
Yeah, this is a fantastic plugin. Hopefully the word spreads for these guys, and when I see something that I think it needs, we'll start talking to them. Maybe they'll expand it out into a pro version.
The other thing I loved about this plugin was that just normal people language is used. Very easy to use. I love it, and I rate it at 5 dragons.
Absolutely. Very cool.
Definitely. Yeah, they did a fantastic job on this plugin.
They did. It's a great plugin.
So if anyone out there has an announcement like a meetup, or if you want to announce that you're going to be on stage at a WordCamp somewhere around the world, you can let us know and we'll put it here in our miscellaneous announcements from all sections so people can read it, and we'll read it out to the world so they get to hear about it. The only thing we really have here right now is the next 5 WordPress camps or WordPress day things that are happening around the world. We have the WordPress Campus Connect AMR. That started in August and is going until November 15th. We have WordPress Campus Connect in Jinja, Eastern Region, Uganda, which started October 1st, goes until November 30th. We have WordCamp Roclaw, and that is for November 15th and 16th. WordPress Day for E-commerce Porto, November 15th, and WordCamp Sirat on November 16th. That's what we have coming up. And if you want, you can go and follow the link here in our show notes. We also have a meetup link for people to go and see if they can find a meetup for WordPress nearby. And next we have affiliates.
Yes, we have affiliates. We have 4 companies we push out for affiliate links. You know, if you guys go click on these links, we make... Oh, so that's not where you're supposed to be. We don't want you in there. Okay. And then... Oh, it's still doing that. All right. I need to fix that link in there. Well, it doesn't... Anyway, first one is Termageddon to help comply with privacy laws such as CPRA, GDPR, UKDP. Oh, forget it. Too many acronyms. At any rate, Termageddon helps you comply with the numerous privacy laws, regulations that are sweeping the globe here, and you want something that will help you comply with those without all the headaches or the expense of hiring your own lawyers at $5,000 a pop to try and keep it up to date every 2 months, as everything keeps constantly changing. Termageddon does that for you. You go answer a ton of questions the first time around. It takes a while, but once you do that, they let you know if there's any new changes that are affected on your account. They tell you got to go answer these new questions. You answer them, and your policies update automatically. They also have a cookie consent system that helps you manage it all. And if you click the link in our show notes, it'll take you to Termageddon, where you can either purchase that license or you can contact us direct and we will resell you the license through our reseller program. So go check them out, termageddon.com. All right.
Next, we have Rank Math, which is a fantastic company to work for when you are doing SEO on your sites. Free version gets you started with everything you actually need. And the premium version, it's like getting VIP treatments. It's another one of those you didn't know you needed those tools until you saw them kind of deal. They are very useful, so definitely worth the price, and which the price isn't actually too dramatic either. The documentation they have is available in easy to read everyday language, so they don't try and confuse you, which is great. And customer service, so far in my experience, has been great. When I was using the free version, they still treat me like a person, and then with pro version, they still just treat me like the same kind of person, not any better or any worse. They just treat you like a human.
Excellent.
And if you are interested in checking these guys out, you can check out our link here. Highly recommend you do so.
Yes, go check out their link for it, and it's a very nice plugin. The other one we've got here is bunny.net. If you need yourself a CDN network, it's an affordable CDN network that delivers fast, affordable storage and delivery of your media. We use it for delivering all of our media now, and it really doesn't cost us all that much. I think in the last 6 months, I've spent less than $20 on all the downloads of our show, and our show has dramatically increased its downloads in the last few months. And it also allows you to see where in the world people are downloading your stuff from, which is also another useful item. But it's very affordable, and use our link. We get a small commission. The price doesn't change for you. And they do have a 14-day trial that you can try it out for 14 days. The final one is Glow WP Maintenance Manager. Very affordable. You can start with a free version for up to 3 websites and continue to go up from there. If you use the coupon code from our notes, WPAZ10, you get a 10% discount on your subscription for life. And the best part about these guys is the report that it helps you create. And you can get that report customized down for each individual client you manage, and it'll be the same every time you create that report. And those reports are very useful in helping you manage connections with your client and communications and getting additional work out of your clients as you go along. So those are the 4 companies we work with. We use them all over the place in all the work we do. So go check them out. All right. That one there went like smooth as butter. Don't worry, we'll clean it up in post.
It's time to donate to WP Plugins A-Z.
So just quickly here, Hemdian said, treating people like they're a human? That's a bit radical. Are they AI? It seems like AI is better at treating people as people than actual people do.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way the world is right now. When you run into a company that treats you like a human and they talk to you, it's like, yes, they can have all my money for whatever service that they're providing. They can have all the money for that service. Yes, it's really important.
Exactly.
And nowadays, it's so hard to find a company that actually treat you like a human. And of course, the bigger the company is, the worse it seems to get.
Oh, yeah. So producership credits are a thing. They do actually exist, and we do offer those. We do offer them to those who donate through time, talent, or treasure. You can use these credits to boost up your resume or add to your LinkedIn file, so on and so forth. And even if you're not interested in receiving a producership credit, you can check out how you can use us as your own stepping ladder in the world of the internet. Get yourself an interview, get us to make an announcement for you, let the world know you have something to say or that you are a company worth checking out. If you are interested in learning more, you can have a look through our website at WPPluginsAtoZ.com. Check out time, talent, and treasure pages.
Yes, and we are a value for value show, though I still haven't got the donation page set up properly. But there's lots of ways to give us value for value. One, share us out everywhere you go. Talk about the WP Plugins A-Z show and what we're doing. And we're trying to find all the smaller voices in the WordPress community, the smaller, ignored, and sidelined voices, and give them a voice. That's what we're looking for. Send them our way. All right. Plugins we covered this week. I covered up I covered up the post calendar by Gelform. Go check it out. Transforms your posts into a list organized calendar view, offers great digital draft storage space, and flexible settings in it. Go check it out. I gave it a 5 dragon rating.
And I covered FullWorks Active User Monitor by FullWorks. Live monitoring to see who is online and logged in at that moment. Comprehensive audit trail and an admin bar widget, which I rated this at 5 dragons.
Alrighty.
And if you are interested in reaching out to us, you can actually still send us snail mail, which is pretty cool. We do have the brick and mortar address there for your pleasure. We also have our internet addresses here available to you, so you can get a hold of us, which I guess the internet addresses is the more normal way now. So
Yeah.
you can reach out to us any way you need to.
It's question and answer time with John and Amber.
So if anyone out there has any questions that they would specifically like to ask my dad, whether you're looking for his advice, his opinion, or just for some of that knowledge that's tucked away in his brain meats, you can send those questions in to me at amber@wppro.ca, and I will put them here, and you can get an answer that you are really wanting. Or, you guys can just keep letting me ask questions, and they're just going to keep getting weirder. The first question I have is, what are action hooks and what are they used for?
The action hooks are what's used in your plugins and themes to connect to multiple things. I don't have the specifics on it because it's technical stuff that I don't dive into. And they're used to, you want a plugin to say, you write a plugin to say connect to Gravity Forms.
Oh,
So Gravity
Google
Forms.
tag?
Google tag is a separate sort of thing. That's not exactly an
Okay.
action hook. Let's say a plugin for Gravity Forms, like I wrote one to help deal with spam. What it does is it reaches into the Gravity Forms for action hooks, and it says do these certain things when Gravity Forms runs. And that's what the action hooks do. That's the gist of it. I probably, if I pulled up all the info, I could bring it out into norm or to geek language. I don't have a way to translate that because I've never gotten that far into it. So, but Google tag is not actually an action hook. Google tag is it's the way Google has termed the code they used to just call it insert this code into your header, and they call it the Google tag. It's the jQuery or JavaScript code that is read that says, oh, do this stuff for Google. So, but they call it a tag, and then they created the system called their Google Tag Manager to manage your tags, but they still give you code that you throw into your website somewhere.
Yes, it's the action hooks is not something I've really had to look into because I haven't needed to use it.
Once you decide you want to write plugins or themes, well, themes are a waste of time, but write plugins, then you'll need to start learning about action hooks, especially if you want a plugin to interact with another plugin that somebody else already wrote. A lot of big plugins, for instance, is a FluentCart, WooCommerce, Gravity Forms, the events calendar, they all have action hooks you can tap into to write your own code to do something different that they hadn't thought of doing. So that's what action hooks are for. That was created, oh God, when was that? That was way back at the beginning of plugins when they created those. And that's one of the things that helped WordPress expand the way it's expanded. Because you can write a plugin on top of a plugin. Like a plugin author creates a plugin because they're solving a problem. Somebody comes along and says, hey, you solved 80% of my problem, but I need 20% solved. And I can tie into your plugin and use all the code that you've already written. And all I have to write is a small amount of code and piggyback upon all your work.
Okay, that's actually really cool.
And that's what action hooks are for. And the action hooks go all the way down into the WordPress core too. There's action hooks in the WordPress core for doing things. I just don't know them, and it's the thing that I've only peripherally touched. I've not gotten that hardcore into the coding. So.
Okay, well, my second question is, is there ever a good reason to skip action hooks? Like, I thought that the Google tag was an action hook, so that's when I wrote this.
Yeah.
I asked if there's ever a good reason to skip action hooks, like when adding a Google tag and just write your changes right into the theme file.
Yeah. Well, in that aspect, you're talking about Google tags. You go create the custom code block in Elementor, or use the footer and header plugin, and you paste in that code into your header or footer.
And that doesn't cause any issues?
No.
Okay, so you can actually just throw the code into where it belongs rather than using something to put it there for you.
Yeah, well, you can if you want to manually go into the theme, but you're doing it this way with the code block, because these code blocks will run at certain points when everything's loading. It's like what you need to look is the hierarchical structure of how WordPress performs the function of loading up a single web page. Starting the first thing it loads and then pulling in all the stuff down the line. There's a whole hierarchical structure of everything.
Yes.
And you need to put your stuff at a certain point in that hierarchical structure so it shows up at the right point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can do that in the theme itself, but nobody does that anymore. I remember doing that back in beginning of themes, having to go in there and manually edit the theme header. Well, the theme header file doesn't really exist anymore. So,
okay.
So there's lots of things that used to be done are no longer done that way because we've found coding ways to deal with it.
Hemdian said, my understanding of action hooks are that they are points in code where a plugin can be triggered. For example, a program might signal an action hook when a window opens. Then a plugin can be written to respond to the window open action hook.
Yes, he took what I was trying to say and he de-geekified it.
Sense?
He de-geekified it. Nice work, Hemdian. Yeah, that's basically, he de-geekified it. I couldn't get it down to that. So
Hemdian, you make a lot more sense. You know, I think I should just start asking you the questions.
yeah, there you go. Well, we'll ask Hemdian all the questions. All right. Well, with that being done and that question out, we've got more questions. For those of you listening on the downloads, you need to sneak on over to the YouTube channel and catch the additional questions Amber asks me. And also, sometimes we have some after stream talk. So with that being said, we're going to let our girl take us on out of here, and we will be back in a minute or so.
Reminders for the show. All the show notes can be found at WPPluginsAtoZ.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A-Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by you, the developers, because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to WPPluginsAtoZ.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show through your favorite podcast app. You can also watch the show live on YouTube at WP Plugins A-Z, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. You can also follow the show on X at WP Plugins A-Z. John can be reached directly through the website WPProAtoZ.com or email him at john@wppro.ca. Amber can also be contacted through the website at WPProAtoZ.com or email her directly, amber@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Alrighty, we's back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go into
my
the
next
other
question.
questions.
Manually adding code, from what I understand, is more like adding in a brick to a wall and holding it in place with like adamantium. It's super strong and is really hard to move once it's set because other things end up building off of it, like that hierarchical structure that you were talking about. So by using an action hook, does it give you more flexibility?
All right,
Like, yeah.
Let's go back to what Hemdian said and de-geekifying the stuff there. Okay, manually adding the code, where are you manually adding the code? There's only a couple of places you can manually add the code, unless you want to go try and rewrite the core WordPress files.
Okay.
Okay. The core WordPress files are left alone. You never touch those. Okay. You add code by creating a plugin or by going into the functions PHP file for your theme. Those are the only two places to manually add code. Now, you can start manually adding code by creating your own theme and creating your own custom pages for the theme. There's people that still do that. I think they're a little bit crazy for doing it, but they do it. But you're manually adding code doesn't make it permanent, because one of the big interesting things, and this is the reason why child themes were created, was people were going in and updating and changing or adding code to the functions file in a theme. And then they'd go along the line and the developer of the theme would create an update and they'd go in and push update theme. Well, they just overwrote all that code that was in their functions PHP and put it right back to the base standard. So any customizations they wrote there vanished, which is why we created child themes. It was so that you could create all this code in a child theme and you could update the core theme and never impact your custom changes. So it's not exactly what you're thinking here. I mean, the code is overwritable or removable in multiple ways. I mean, what we do with, say, Elementor is we leverage their base theme, and we have a child theme in place so that if we need to make customizations to the CSS or the functions file, which from time to time we still do, not as often as it used to be, especially since I started developing plugins to take care of the problem of customizing the functions file. The CSS, occasionally you need to write a CSS change that you can't seem to get to stick when you're doing it in Elementor, and you got to go right to the file itself and write it right in there. So no, the manual adding code is not like adding a brick with adamantium. It's removable or bypassable in multiple ways, depends on where you put that code. You know, there is no code that is 100% permanent. Even if it's a plugin, somebody can come along. If they get in there, they can turn your plugin off, and there goes your code. You know, the only code that is truly unchangeable is the WordPress core, or the code that you should never change. It is not unchangeable. I've gone in from time to time when there was certain things I needed to do, and I've made a change to the WordPress core files with notes on that particular site to do not update WordPress. There are people that are running their own customized versions of WordPress core, but eventually I fixed the problem and started updating again. But the WordPress core files are the one thing you generally don't mess with. But there are ways to override them. The action hooks allow you to override certain functions in the WordPress core files. That's where you create a plugin to go tap into it. And use Hemdian's explanation of it is the best explanation I've seen. So
yeah, this entire question and answer section has helped me to understand the action hooks, because it's always been kind of a unknown to me.
Yeah.
Vaguely understood, not really. My last question for you is a little different. If you only had 60 seconds to make a site change that survives updates, would you reach for the customizer, a child theme, or a custom plugin first?
Well, I couldn't do a custom plugin in 60 seconds. If I had 60 seconds to make it, I would use the customizer, and it will survive almost all updates because the customizer writes it to your SQL database.
Okay, that's cool.
So
I was going to say, why did you choose that? But you just answered that. So
yeah, well, the customizer, that was the joy of when the customizer came in, is now it's putting that information into your database, and I forget which table it's stuffing it into, but it's there in the database. It's not actually written into any files.
Hemdian says something cool. Plugins are attachments. Like with a car, if you add a roof rack, you've changed what your car can do. Now it can carry more stuff. But the core of the car is unchanged, and you can always remove the roof rack. That's
See,
brilliant.
He's even better than me at taking stuff and bringing it into non-geek terms. So thanks,
Yeah,
thanks,
That's a
Hemdian.
brilliant way to explain it.
That is
Awesome.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a nice way to explain it. So that wraps up all your questions. Then we got anything else?
Yep. Not that I can think of.
Well, thanks everyone for showing up. We greatly appreciate it. We had as many as 6 people listening for a little while. And
exciting.
let's see what we got going in the top fans. Right now, we got Amber at 125 points, Hemdian at 75, Friendly Web Guy at 50, and Influence WP at 50. There's the score for this show.
Hemdian said, I need to dumb stuff down so I can understand it.
All right. And on that point, let's have a little music to carry us on out of here. Thanks for showing up, everyone.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
All righty, folks. That's all we got now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Oh my god, that is amazing!
Oh no. Obviously, we just lost the satellite feed.